Hello and welcome to a new Strength Journal. My name is AJ and today we are training chest and triceps. This is also the start of a new training block, so very excited about that. And I'm gonna see you after the warm-up. So the first exercise that we are doing today is gonna be the weighted decline ring push-up. And we are going for 4 sets of 6 to 10 repetitions. And yeah, I'm gonna do 3 sets with a 10 kilo weight vest. And the last is gonna be body weight only. Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 warm-up sets. So one with just like feet on the floor, so no decline. Then 1 set with decline, but no added weight. And then I'm gonna start with my working sets. So as the next exercise, we got the weighted dip for 4 sets of 8 to 15 repetitions. And yeah, the set structure is gonna be pretty similar. So I'm gonna do 3 sets weighted with 15 kg of added weight, and then the last set is gonna be body weight only. And same thing as with the ring push-up, controlling the eccentric, slightly pausing at the bottom, and then going back up. That was close. So I'm gonna do the last weighted set now, and the original plan was to do 8 to 15 reps, but I'm pretty certain that I'm not gonna get 8 reps on this set because the 8 reps of the second set were very grindy. So I'm gonna aim for 6 to 15 instead. So I want to get at least 6 reps. I thought about just reducing the weight, but I'm just gonna do 6 to 15. Just so that I don't have to reduce the weight, basically. But technique stays the same. So I think that the dip is probably like one of these movements where execution makes all the difference when it comes to how much weight you can move. So the execution I chose is going slow, going fairly deep, and pausing at the bottom. This reduces the amount of weight that I can use and the amount of repetitions I can do quite a bit. But there's also a way which is more like the street lifting technique, where you just go to 90 degrees in your elbow positioning and you're doing it more explosively. And this allows you to use a lot more weight. So I don't think there's a right or wrong. Both techniques have their place. But I would say for hypertrophy, probably going slow, going a bit deeper, getting a big stretch on the chest at the bottom is probably more useful, at least for most of the sets and repetitions that you do with the dip. And the other version is probably more useful if your main goal is performance. Yeah, but I think the dip is really like one movement where technique makes all the difference. And probably comparable to like a deadlift, where both movements have a high potential of using a lot of weight. If you're listening to Pokemon, do your training, is there even a way to get a bad training in? So this was the part for my chest. Now I'm gonna go to the triceps. And we're going to do 2 exercises as well. And the first one is gonna be the dumbbell Skullcrusher. So I'm just gonna do them on the floor, laying down. And the focus is on getting a huge stretch on the triceps. So bring the dumbbell to around the shoulder and yeah, just getting a big stretch on the triceps and then going back up. And of course, or also using that slow and controlled eccentric, slightly pause at the bottom. Doing 3 sets here, yeah. So something I also wanted to talk about is that every time I am talking about technical cues and why I think they are good for purpose X, I'm not saying them in a sense of that I'm trying to claim that I'm always right. I know that this technique is best for this and that. They are more meant as a sense of trying to share my thoughts on certain training techniques, methods, and telling you why I think they are working pretty well. So I'm not an exercise scientist. I've been training for not even 5 years. I'm actually in my 5th year of training now, so I don't know everything. And my knowledge is basically just based on my training experiences that I made and based on the knowledge of other people that I follow and I like to listen to. So just something to think about. There are a lot of people out there who are training for certain goals. And what you might realize is that a lot of the times they are using quite different methods to get there. So when it comes to hypertrophy, for example, there are people who are training in a way which is very slow and controlled. They're not really thinking about how much weight they are using. They are just trying to push a certain muscle to failure and make them grow that way. There's also other people who are using a more explosive way of training, less controlled, but they are still getting to the goal of gaining muscle. And why is that? It's simply because training well or training bad is a spectrum. There's no black and white answer to achieving goal X. There are just different methods, and you basically have the possibility to play around with them. So every time someone claims that this method is the perfect method to get to a certain goal, reflect about it, look at what other people are saying, and then just try around. Because that's basically the most important thing you have to do. Listening to other people, learning from other people is great, it's very important, but in the end you have to do your training to get to a goal. So that's just something I wanted to share. So I'm now gonna do diamond push-ups to finish my triceps. Gonna do 3 sets as well. And a little technique cue that I find very useful for the diamond push-up or close grip push-up is the diamond push-up is great for the triceps in comparison to a regular push-up, because in a regular push-up, if you look at the bottom, your elbows are gonna be like that probably. And that way we don't really get like a big stretch on the triceps. In the diamond push-up or close grip push-ups, we get this amount of elbow bend. We are getting a greater stretch on the triceps and therefore making it a more triceps emphasized exercise. There's still gonna be chest and shoulders activation, but I would say mainly triceps. And if you want to feel your triceps even more, I recommend that you have the intention of aiming your head towards your hands. You don't actually have to do that because that would probably be quite uncomfortable, but think about pushing your elbows back. And that way you get a greater stretch on your triceps and make it even harder, but maybe also better for triceps hypertrophy. So last set of the diamond push-ups. I actually got less reps than I thought that I would get, but I'm cool with that. My triceps are wrecked. So yeah, pretty much all I can ask for. Although that's like a little bit of a hit for the ego, of course, but that's fine. Let's try one more. Nope. So I just finished the last set of my diamond push-ups, and something that I wanted to add or mention that pretty much fits together with what I said earlier about there being a lot of different ways to train and different methods that could be right or not be right, is I gave a tip that if you want to get more of the diamond push-ups, think about pushing elbows more back. That being a great way to engage your triceps more. It could be that if you do that, that just feels really horrible for your elbows. And going a little bit more further or leaning a bit more forwards is actually more comfortable for you. And then I think I would choose the second way, because if the exercise is great for hypertrophy and everything in theory, but it is very painful for you and uncomfortable, then it's basically not useful for you. So you also have to, or you always have to think about what is in theory the best technique for an exercise to achieve a certain goal, but is this technique actually applicable for you? Because if you get injured from an exercise that was in theory perfect for hypertrophy, for example, but it just destroyed your elbows, then it's not a good thing, obviously. So always think about that. There are in theory a lot of cool technique cues to use, especially for hypertrophy. Try them and see if they are actually good or applicable for you in a sense of, are they hurting your joints, etc. Something to think about. So I just finished the workout. It was a pretty good and fun workout. As you were able to see, I didn't really get like a lot of reps with the exercise that I did, but the reps were close to failure. Technique was pretty good, I would say, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So yeah, if you like this video, I would highly appreciate if you press the like button and share feedback down below in the comment section of what you think of the Strength Journal. And I will see you next time. Much love and see you on level 100. Peace.